Hello, business owners. Welcome to tonight's live. My name is Lunta Di La Paulo. And again, I'm going to be your host today. And we're going to be talking about accounting bootcamp for marketing agencies. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Lunta Di La Paulo. I'm a CPA and the founder and owner of Yetu Accounting and Tax PLLC. Essentially, what we do in my practice is helping business owners save money on taxes, improve their business profits, and optimize cash flow. If you are a business owner and would like some help in any of these three items, I'm here available to help you. But more importantly, tonight, I want to kick things off with by sharing my screen here. So I'm gonna go straight into our presentation today. And please let me know if you have any questions, if you have any comments. Happy to connect with you during or after today's webcast, okay? Again, today we're going to be talking about accounting for marketing agencies. The goal of this live is really to help business owners get a sense of how of understanding what's the accounting process for your business, for your agency, how you can leverage accounting to create success for your business, and how you can convert your today a lot of business owners look at accounting as one more cost of running the business, and they often do not see the value of accounting for their business. Okay, so we're going to be looking at how accounting can help you achieve your results as a business owner, and how accounting can help you run a successful agency and pay less taxes. Okay, so with that, let's start with, first of all, what kind of information accounting provides to you. Okay, when you think about accounting, okay, what kind of information as a business owner are you getting from accounting? Okay, and what I would like you to do is to consider, okay, when I'm looking into the balance sheet, what am I looking for? What I'm looking into the profit and loss statement, what should I be paying attention to, and how should I use this kind of information? Okay, so in general, accounting, right, is giving you information about your business in general. Okay, and with that information, you can determine as a business owner whether or not the business is making money. Okay, for most of us business owner, that's the most important question. Am I making or losing money with the business? And we get that information from the profit and loss statement. Yeah. So as a business owner, it's fundamental that we have a good system. It doesn't matter what that system looks like, but that system, that information system should be able to provide you information about your revenue, your expenses, and the subtraction of these two will tell you whether or not you're making money. Yeah. So that's number one. And number two is kind of to give you a little bit of the perspective about the history from an historical point of view, right? How has your business been doing? Have you been month by month losing money, year by year losing money? Or are you, which I often see in many business owners, they have a flat revenue. The last 3-4 years, they've done $500,000. Maybe that's what they want, okay? But that's where they have been, okay? I've seen businesses stuck in $1 million for over 10 years, okay? They never break that plateau, okay? So accounting information system essentially gives us, right, tells us the story about the business. Yeah. Another piece of information that is critical that accounting gives us is what do I own or control versus what do I owe to other people. Okay. So that information, as you know or should know, comes from the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. As a business owner, I am concerned about knowing what asset in my business were financed by my own capital versus by capitals that I had to borrow money from other people, whether it's family and friends and family, or from banks and other lenders. Yeah. So very important for us to determine, right? Okay, is my business making or losing money? How my business has been doing in the last 12 months or 1 to 3 years? What do I own in this business, and how did the things that I own, the assets that I own, were financed by debt or equity? Yeah. And where's my business going? Right? By understanding where the business is today, we can have a good idea how things are going to look like tomorrow. Okay. Not that we can use the history, right, to exactly tell what the future is going to look like, but we have a good idea of what is that future going to look like if we keep doing things the same way we're doing. Okay. I tell clients this: accounting, okay, think about accounting as a story, okay? What we do as accountant is essentially we are storytellers, right? We're telling a story about the business. We're telling the story about what the business have been doing the last quarter, the last year, the last few years, okay? And why do the numbers matter, okay? We're telling the business owner, hey, look, all the decisions you've made, all the activities, all the movement, the decisions you've made up to date, okay, are reflected here in this report. And that's what we accountants try to do. Okay. Now, here's another very important piece of information that I need you to consider, that accountants or accounting usually helps us get, okay, by looking into all the numbers that often we have in front of us as business owner. Okay. The question is, if there was a massive change in the economy, in politics, in the industry you're operating, would your business still be around? Okay. Are you still going to be able to make money? Right. So let me bring it a little closer to your home. If you have a business that, let's say, generates $100,000 in net profit, and it generates $1 million in revenue, and two of the clients, okay, two of the clients uh, brings about a quarter of that revenue. That's 250 grand, right? And these two clients leave your company. What would that cost your business? What's gonna happen? Okay. Accounting helps us ask these kind of questions. And more than helping us ask this question, it helps us figure out ways to plan in the event that anything that could kill or massively impact the business negatively, we can plan around them and prevent that impact to be detrimental or profoundly detrimental to the business. Okay. So again, up to now, I've shared with you, okay, the type of information we're getting from the accounting system. Okay. Now I want you to think about, what use does accounting information have for you? For a lot of business owners, sadly, accounting information is only useful for tax preparation. There is nothing wrong with that, okay? There is nothing wrong with that, but you gotta understand that we're no longer in the dark ages, okay, where we make decisions based on speculation, based on gut feeling only, based on how we think things will turn out, okay? Today, we are, as business owner, we make decisions based on data, okay? We make decisions based on data. If we don't have data, it's very hard to be successful as business owner. Okay. And the accounting information system is really coming to give you, okay, the pieces you need to build a picture. Okay. The pieces you need to build a picture. Okay. So let's see what use can we have for the accounting information. Okay. Besides filing your tax returns, okay, your accounting information is useful to see the past. Okay. We touched on it a little bit. Okay. But just another touch here so that you can remember it even better. You need to be able to see the past, where your business has been. Okay. Where it has been this past year. Today is May 20th, okay, 2024. Since the year began to date, okay, how has your business performed? Is your revenue going up compared to compared to Q1 2023, compared to previous year, compared to the last 3-5 years? How is your growth trajectory looking like? Are you more indebted or less indebted? Are you attracting the type of client that you wanted to have to date, or are you moving in a direction that is opposite to your growth strategy? Okay. Accounting information gives us also information about the current status. Okay. We can look into our accounting system and quickly determine whether or not we're making money, whether or not we owe more than we can actually support as a business. Yeah. So by reviewing this information, we can start developing again an expectation about what the future could look like. So as a business owner, okay, as a business owner, as a marketing agency owner, you need to always think about, okay, do I know my stats? Okay, do I know where my business is? I'll tell you a story here before I continue. Last Friday, I had a call with a business owner. She's been in the business for a little over 20 years. And this lady, we connected, and she came to us because she needed some help with her tax return. And as always, we always want to look into the last 3 years of tax return to make sure there aren't any material mistake that we would be essentially be carrying forward. And as we talked about her business, I started asking her questions about her business, the basic numbers that, you and I, or most of us would expect all of us to have on top of our head. What was your revenue last year? She didn't quite know what was the revenue last year. Oh, what was her major expenses? How many employees she had? What was the payroll? As a service-driven business, most of our operating expenses usually with payroll. And, the more I asked her these questions, I didn't even need to tell her that she needed to have a good accounting system. She realized that, hey, look, you're asking me a question that I should have known, but I don't. Meaning I don't even have a clear picture where my business has been. I don't know where my business is today. And I'm not even sure where the business is going because she's been caught up just doing the business, going into the grind and working and working and working and working, right? But until that moment, maybe at some point she stops and thinks about, how the business is going. But by having this conversation, she could realize that there were certain accounting information that she needed to have, but she just didn't have it. Okay. And that made it difficult for her to make decisions about her business, to fully comprehend what takes place in her business. Okay. So as a business owner, you need to have a clear understanding of where your business has been, where it is today, and where it's going. Okay. After you have done that, we can also think about some of the mistakes that most agency owners make in regards to their accounting. Okay. We talked about what kind of information accounting system gives you, what use you can have by using accounting information. And now I want to touch on a little bit around costly accounting mistakes that most agency owners make. Okay. Among many mistakes, I'm gonna give you five here. Okay. The number one is incorrect business structure. Your business structure affects a lot about your business, affects your taxes, your accounting structure sometime. It affects how you operate your business. One common mistake that I've been seeing a lot recently is the fact that a lot of people are getting bad advice and they're setting so many entities that they do not need, and the only thing these entities do for them is increasing their operating cost. Okay, because for each entity you set up, you need an accounting system around it, and maybe you need to file a tax return around it. Okay, so be careful about entity structure. But the most important question is, do you have the right structure for your business? Okay. Still, in the business structure, another common mistake that I see business owners making is assuming, hey, the same business structure that I've had 10, 20 years ago still works for me today. It may not be the case, okay? It may not be the case because things have changed. The tax law have changed a couple of times, okay? And the tax law continues, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And an entity structure that you had 10, 20 years ago may not be a tax efficient anymore for you today. So you need to think about, okay, what can I do to make sure I'm in the right place? The second mistake is around accounting method. Okay. Most business owners don't even know this. They don't even think about this. Okay. And when you ask them, they are clueless about what's happening. What's the accounting method your business runs on? Is it a cash basis accounting or an accrual basis accounting or an hybrid or some other method? Okay. Each one of these methods will yield a different result for your financial reporting system. Okay. And your tax implications as well. Okay. So it's very important for you to know which method of accounting my business is running on, because it affects the number you see and the taxes you pay. Okay. The third mistake that I also see many business owners making is a poorly set up accounting system or not having an accounting system at all. Okay. They do not have a clear system that easily can help them find invoices, receipts, or employee record, payroll records. Okay. They don't have a clear system that keeps track of their income, their expenses, their fixed assets, their depreciation, and so forth. Okay. So that's a bad way of running your business. If you want to be a successful business owner and one day exit at a top dollar, okay, you need to have a good accounting system. You need to have an information system that provides appropriate, okay, financial information for you to make decision, or someone in the future will be looking to buy your business to make decisions, okay? The fourth mistake that is also commonly among business owner is poorly kept records, okay? Similar to poorly set up accounting system, right? When you don't have an accounting system set up, you don't know where your invoices are. You paid for advertising, but you don't know how much you paid for the advertising, or if the IRS comes to audit you, you don't have any records to show. And your deduction gets disallowed because you can show proof that you paid for these expenses, right? So very important to organize your invoices, to organize your records, to organize your payroll information, to organize your client information, okay? And then the last mistake is not seeking help, okay? Here's what I'm gonna tell you. There is a stage in your business that you could get by doing things yourself on your own without professional help, trying to save a little bit money. But it gets a point, especially if you don't know what you're doing, that you need to seek help. And I would also tell you this, it's not a good idea to go cheap when it comes to your accounting system, your tax preparation, because small mistakes can cost you more money than the money that you're trying to save. If you simply try to get things done correctly at the beginning, okay? So business owners, try to avoid these mistakes. Try to avoid these mistakes, okay? And here now, I want to touch on the difference between the accrual and cash basis, okay? So when we think about accrual versus cash basis, we need to think about the inflow of cash and the timing of cash. Under cash basis, okay, we are recording income only when we actually receive cash. So let me give you an example. Let's say one of your client pays for SEO service in December 2023, but the service will begin in 2024. Under the cash basis, that income is reported in 2023. The same thing applies for expenses. If you paid expenses, let's say you paid a subscription for Meet Alfred or any of your other software for the year 2024, but you paid it in December 2023, the expenses for that get deducted in 2023 under the cash basis. But when we come under the accrual basis, we get to record the income or expenses only in the year we get their benefits. Okay, so here's an example. If a client, in the same example, the client paid you for SEO services in 2023, but the benefit will take place during 2024, it's not revenue, it's not income. It's a liability to your business, right? Therefore, we book it as the fair unearned revenue, to your books. You don't have any income. And the same thing for your expenses. If you had the expenses that it's gonna be used for the subscriptions for 2024, but they were paid in 2023, then you don't book, right, an expense. What do you book? It's a prepaid asset that will be amortized or used up in 2024. Okay? What's the best method? Depends on the outcomes you want to have. Depends on the outcome you want to have. In fact, for most small businesses, they will have a hybrid system. Okay? And many other small businesses will have their accounting system organized on a tax basis. So it's very critical to notice this difference, because if you are running your business on a cash basis and you are showing things like account receivables, accounts payable, it's confusing. But most people, because they don't have a subscription with QuickBooks or Wave apps or Shiro or Soho accounts and so forth, they think, okay, the software can do the job, knows everything that needs to get done. Please don't do that. Excuse me. You are a business owner. You need correct and accurate financial information to make good business decisions. Okay. So make sure to go back in a conversation with your accountant. Okay, we're gonna do this boot camp in two parts. Okay, today we're just doing the introductory part. We're showing you some of the critical pieces. On Thursday, we're gonna talk a little bit more on the practical side to show you what happens under the hood with your accounting system. Okay, so we are almost 6. It seems like it's a good place for us to pause before we move forward. Okay, but before we do that, let me share about the 3 important statements that you need to run your business. So number 1, we need to have a balance sheet. A balance sheet gives us an idea of where we are in a given point in time, okay, about the company. Again, what we own versus what we owe, and how much of what we own was financed by our own capital or other people's money, okay? In the P&L side, we're looking at profitability and performance in a period of time, right? Months, quarter, year, okay, and so forth. That's the goal of the P&L. And the standard accounts we see there, revenue minus expenses equal net operating income or loss. And then cash flow is kind of the reconciliation of these 2 documents, right? It shows the inflows and outflows of cash in our business, okay? Very important for us to have around this business owner. The other piece of information as a business owner need to have is the aging accounts payable, aging account receivable, your sales report, and cash report. You could also have some KPIs that you're keeping track, okay? Your dashboard to help you have a big picture of how things are going in your business, okay? So this is definitely a good place for us to stop. And then on Thursday, we're going to start looking under the hood what's taking place, okay? I hope this was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have any questions, okay? I'm available to connect with you, to help you in any ways possible, okay? Have a good evening and God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.